So is it John?
Hey, John.
How you doing,
Hello?
John? Are you John?
Hello?
Are you John?
Hey, John. How y'all doing?
I'm good. What's your name?
My name's John.
Hey, that's what we thought.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you may want to turn down your TV and focus on the phone.
Okay, I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
All right, first-time caller, long-time listener. Pretty cool.
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from downtown Austin, actually, you guys.
Woo.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you great. Focus on the phone and not the TV because there's like a 4-second delay. So, did you have a question?
Yeah, I actually had a question for you guys. Is that all right?
Sure.
Here's my question for the both of y'all. Like, my question is, do you guys think, like, the murder of Madalyn O'Hare and the publicity of it all got, like, all of the publicity that it came from, like, do you think it's had, like, a huge impact on the research and study of atheism?
Actually, no. If we look at it as, you know, the way that the question was phrased on the monitor, and so I'd already thought about this for a second, you know, did Madalyn have more of an impact while she was alive than her death did? I think the answer is yes. She definitely had more impact while she was alive. She was the most hated woman in America. She was, you know, she had her own TV show here in Austin. She was on Phil Donahue all the time. She was critical in removing government-mandated prayer and Bible readings from schools. Her death was tragic. It was a mystery. It was, you know, for a number of years. It's been solved since then. I think the best, there's actually some people who made this comment before. One of the best things about Madalyn's death, and I didn't know her. I didn't know her at all. I wasn't even an atheist while she was alive, actually. But I think some of the people who know her would say that even she would have one positive thing to appreciate about her death, and that is that she died in such a way that nobody could ever claim that she had a deathbed conversion to Christianity. I think she would be pleased that that couldn't possibly be the case.
So can you hear me?
Yeah.
Like, also, like, do you think if she was still around and she wasn't murdered, she would still have the same impact she would have, like, without her brutal murder of her son and her daughter as well?
I have no idea. I'd like to think that she'd be out there lecturing alongside Dawkins, Hitchens, Harris. I didn't agree with Madalyn. You know, I've read her books out, you know, obviously after she died, but I don't agree with her on everything. But boy, I agree with her on a great deal, and so do many of the so-called quote unquote new atheists. There is no new atheism. There's nothing new about it. I'm saying the same things that, many of the same things that Madalyn said when she had her show and she wrote her books, and so is Dawkins, Harris, Dennett, Hitchens, everybody else.
Yeah. Linda, can I get your opinion on that question?
Linda, okay.
Can I get?
Yeah, I definitely think that there was more discussion of her impact on, I guess, secularizing things when she was alive. After she's dead, her name almost never comes up on our list. We get people writing in about Dawkins, people mentioning Sam Harris, people mentioning, there's another British guy. Hitchens. Richard, or not, I was going to call him Richard Hitchens. And so we do get certain names, but I almost hear nothing about Madalyn Murray O'Hare anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, like, because she was a huge impact back in, like, 94, 95, like, before the time of her kidnapping and brutal murder of her.
That's why I'm saying
family.
my view would be that she had more impact while she was alive, because today I hardly hear anything about her.
Really? Wow, that's interesting. I mean, I'm surprised you guys still don't talk about her on occasion.
Oh, I mean, it comes up, but, you know.
I think the modern champions they're just more in the limelight, and I think to some degree they're a little bit less caustic.
I think they may be better representatives of atheism.
Dawkins gets slammed for being caustic, and he can't touch Madalyn Murray O'Hare for being abrasive.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like the fact that she was like an extremist, you know what I mean? Like she really pushed it out there. Do you think that was kind of like maybe like a black eye?
There are people who think that she gave atheism a black eye.
She kind of put that upon herself. You got to agree on that one, I hope. She was. Well, it almost seemed like she wanted to pick fights and battles with everybody.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did. But that's
she was a Hellcat.
The thing is that when you look at somebody like that, and it's easy to say, oh, they were extremist, or they gave atheism a bad name. They were too confrontational. The fact of the matter is, she saw problems, and she was honest and forthright about making sure that those problems were addressed. And I think if it weren't for the fact that we had Madalyn as caustic and in your face as she was during those years, none of us would be sitting here today. I don't think, 9/11 changed some people's minds about religion. I got to put you on hold because there's noise on your line. 9/11 changed some people's minds about religion, for and against, and that had a huge impact. But if it hadn't been for some fundamental changes that happened because of Madalyn and others like her, I don't think any of us would be sitting here today doing this show. So while you could say it gave atheism a black eye, it may have just been one of those necessary things. And a lot of people have asked, well, are you being too confrontational, or talking to me, or are you being too nice? I think there's room for all of it. When I don't need to go to the average, Free Will Baptist church and storm in and talk about, how some other religion is currently practicing honor killings, because they have nothing to do with it. Oh, he hung up. I'm sorry, John. I hope you're still listening, but there was a problem with the phone. Yeah, there's no reason for me to rail on him for that, and there's no reason for me to rail on other religious people for things that they don't have any involvement with. But there is a time to rail on that. The Pope, before he was Pope, was involved in hiding priests who victimized children. Period. No two ways about it. I don't care if he comes to America and apologizes for it. I don't care what they think their justification is. What they've done should be illegal. They get away with it because they're a church, because they're Vatican City, because they're important. It's bullshit. There are priests, and this isn't just Catholics. I'm just pointing out this one issue. And by the way, it's not all Catholics. There's plenty of good Catholics out there that I like. But when you have people who are violating the rights of anybody, but in this case, children, and you, instead of working with the authorities, taking measures to stop it, turning these people in, when you instead ship them off to your rehab centers and then shuffle them off to other parishes where they can victimize more people, you're an accomplice. You're just as guilty. It's like that. I don't need to say that the average Christian is as crazy as the family in, I think it was Wisconsin recently, whose daughter was diabetic, and they decided to pray instead of taking her to the doctor, and she died. They killed their daughter. Manslaughter, murder. I figure out they're being charged. I think it's negligent homicide that they're being charged with, maybe second degree. Right. They killed their daughter. No two ways about it. But I realize not every Christian's that crazy. So, at least not in that area. I mean, they're all. We are all crazy to some degree, and I don't exclude myself. We are all prone to buying into something that's just not true. The question is, how strongly are you willing to buy into it, and what actions are you willing to take on behalf of it? There is not a single thing that I believe that could ever convince me to do anything remotely like, hey, let's not take them to a doctor, let's just keep praying. That's a level of batshit crazy that only exists in religions and insane asylums. Oh, you're not going to back me up on that.
No, I mean, last time I was on, I railed on
well, it's
abusing
your week.
children.
We got 50. Oh, yes.
So, yeah, anything to do with harming children really.
Oh, yeah, and after you drop your F-bomb, then I throw a couple colors out today. Welcome to everything.